And we'll turn it over to the head coach of the Monmouth Hawks, Coach Kevin Callahan. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Doing fine. Hope you're doing well.
I am, thank you.
Good. Hawks with the open date, preparing for PC, as you've heard already. Give us your thoughts on what you guys did for the week, preparing for the Blue Hose, and then your initial thoughts on PC.
Well, the open week came at a very good time for us. It was exactly at the midpoint of the season, and we took the opportunity to practice some, but also to rest some and help some of our guys that have been banged up rehab and get a little bit more healthy and ready to go. And it was also a time where we spent some solid time recruiting and getting caught up and ahead in that part of things. So it was a good week for us. But we've got down to work here over the weekend and started our focus on Presbyterian. And there's no doubt that we understand that we face an incredible challenge as we go into this game. This will be our first ever Big South game, the first of 5 very difficult games ahead of us here on the schedule. And everybody associated with our program understands the challenge that we face. And, having the opportunity to look at their games on video, it's very obvious to all of us up here that, Coach Nichols has an incredible team, and they've got a great thing going on right now. And, the way they played last week in particular, and the big win over Charleston Southern, but also in all of their games, and I'm talking going back to Northern Illinois all the way through. They've got a quality football team. They're physical. They're extremely athletic, and they've got incredible depth. And, that's something that's going to be a significant challenge for us.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll start taking questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. To ask a question, please press star 1 on your phone, or click the Q&A link near the top of your browser and click raise hand if you joined us via the web. Questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. Hey, Coach, first question for you is from Jeremy Sherling of the New Jersey Newsroom.com.
Good morning, Jeremy.
Hey, Coach. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Same question that I asked to Coach Nichols. When did you start to look at the Presbyterian film? Was it over the summer? And if you did, how much? What percentage sort of the work was done then versus over the bye week and then into this week?
Well, really, being new to the league, we didn't have any video from the previous season, so, everything that we've done has been, starting with this season. And so, we've tried to keep a track of what everybody in the conference is doing and understanding that, Presbyterian was our first game. We took advantage of the open week, the bye week last week to, start our preparation and get us a head start on that.
One thing that you talked about in the post-game 2 weeks ago was the challenge that it is for coaches because of the fact that these are all brand-new teams, basically, except for Liberty. Does the fact that you had the open week help?
Excuse me?
Does the fact that last week was a bye week help make that process easier because you did have some extra time to sit there and kind of kind of sift through that tape and use the extra couple days to figure out those tendencies which they may have as a team?
Yeah, without a question, Jeremy. I mean, I think, you have that additional time. We didn't have a game last week, Saturday, to prepare for, so we turned our focus early on to the next opponent, which is Presbyterian. So, yeah, we used that time last week to certainly get a head start and dive into, looking at Presbyterian.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Okay, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. And next question for you, Coach. I don't have a name, so it's based out of Huntington, New York, so please identify yourself before we're talking with Coach.
Coach, it's Josh Newman. How you doing?
Good, Josh. How are you?
Good. Out here this morning watching practice, it seems like you guys have gotten a lot healthier during that bye week. Is it fair to say in that respect that the bye game had a pretty good time?
Yeah, it did, Josh. I mean, I think, as I said earlier here, it came at the midpoint in the season and at a time when, we had some guys banged up like everybody does, and it allowed some of the guys who were, getting themselves from game to game to get healthier and rested a little bit. So, yeah, I think we are in better shape from a health standpoint than we were entering the last game prior to the bye.
historically, the team or teams that win the Big South, they generally go unbeaten in conference play, or they finish conference play with one loss. That said, just how crucial is the game Saturday just to get off on the right foot and give yourself a shot at a conference title here going forward?
You know, we're not even looking that far ahead, to be honest with you right now, Josh. We're looking about, getting ready for the significant challenge that faces us this Saturday. We're looking to, be the best football team that we can be on Saturday when we go down to Presbyterian and hopefully put our best foot forward as the new kid on the block in a new conference.
And just one last thing. What have you seen out of Presbyterian on film, specifically the game against Charleston Southern, where they were able to kind of grind it out and win a low-scoring game after having both of Carolina on the road? And in that game, they scored a lot of points. What have you seen out of Presbyterian here so far?
Well, I see a very talented, very deep, well-coached football team in every aspect. Everybody, is pointing to the defensive effort that they had last week against Charleston Southern, and there's no question about it. It was a significant defensive effort. But that's not the whole story. They do great things on both sides of the ball. They've got a terrific, offense, and they're able to run the ball very effectively. They make plays and are opportunistic on defense. They're solid on the special teams. They're a very, very good football team.
Thanks, Cal. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Josh. And, Coach, next question is from Eddie Acapindi. Go ahead, Eddie.
Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good, Eddie.
Coach, without getting too big here and without straying too far from the game, I want to get your thoughts on the continued evolution of the program. Obviously, you're the only head coach in program history. To go from where you were in 1993 to playing your first game in the Big South, and again, without getting too big for the moment, just want your thoughts on really how big this Saturday is for the program and for the university.
Well, the biggest difference between 1993 and the present day is I have a lot less hair, Eddie. That's number one, first and foremost. But I think the program has made significant steps in incremental measures about every 4 to 5 years throughout the 20-plus years that we've been here. And we're excited about joining the Big South. It was a great day for our program when we were accepted by the membership over a year ago. And we look forward to getting started in conference play. We know it's a quality football conference from top to bottom. There's several. They're all great football teams, and they're all well coached. And we know that we're going to face an extremely stiff challenge each and every week, and that will begin this Saturday.
Well, Coach, I appreciate it. Obviously, good luck on Saturday. We're looking forward to making the trip down to South Carolina.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. And, Coach, last question I have for you is, you mentioned PC's defense. Just talk a little bit more about what concerns you. They've only allowed FCS programs an average of 16 points a game, and with your offense averaging 39, just talk about what are some concerns that you see on their defensive side of the ball.
Well, I look at them, and they're a very physical defense. They're very sound. They're well coached, and they're disciplined. They play as a unit. They really fit themselves in where they need to be each and every play, and they have the athleticism to come up with big plays. And I talk about them being opportunistic, and you look at their games over the course of the season, and they're able to come up with key interceptions or fumble recoveries and advance the ball and turn it over to their offense in good field position. And they're playing with a high level of confidence right now, as they should be. I think they're a physical group. And they're very sound in what they do, and they're going to present a big challenge for our offense.
All right, Coach. Thanks very much. Nothing else for you? We'll let you go.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right. Monmouth PC, Saturday, 2 p.m. That game will be on the Big South Network.